cryptocurrency. The government says it's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Authorities took Malone Lamb into custody.
It's the 19th of August 2024. Malone Lamb with a group of young boys made headlines by stealing $23 million worth of Bitcoin from a Genesis creditor. Surprisingly, their method didn't rely on advanced hacking or coding skills. Instead, they pulled it off by cleverly exploiting human nature. So, the big question is how? How did they do it? Let's see from the start. The crew includes 20-year-old Malone Lamb, 18-year-old Veer Chital, 21-year-old Giandiel Serrano, Danish Khan, and Chen. Among them, Lamb is the main character. Lamb arrived in the US back in October 2023, taking advantage of the visa waiver program, which lets tourists stay for up to 90 days without needing a visa. However, time flew by, and over a year later, he was still in the country, long past his allowed stay. Court records show that Lamb had no fixed address and was unemployed during his time in the US, leaving him without any legal status. Online, Lamb used aliases like Anne Hathaway and $$ while his accomplice, Giandiel Serrano, went by Versace God and S-Kid Star. Together, they devised a clever plan to target a wealthy crypto investor in Washington, D.C., a man we'll refer to as the victim. Known for being an early player in the cryptocurrency world, the victim was a high net worth individual. With this in mind, Lamb and Serrano put together a well-thought-out scheme. Prosecutors later described it as a prime example of sophisticated social engineering. Social engineering is just a fancy way of saying someone gains another person's trust to steal sensitive information. In Lamb and Serrano's case, their plan was simple but effective. They wanted the victim to believe his Google account was under attack. This fear would set the stage for their next move. In the week before the theft, on August 18th, they brought in a third person to help. This person sent the victim fake notifications about unauthorized access to his Google account. These alerts, which seemed to come from overseas, thanks to proxy and VPN services, looked very convincing. Now imagine being bombarded with messages saying someone is trying to hack into your account. You'd feel anxious, right? That's exactly what Lamb and Serrano were counting on. On August 18th, Lamb and Serrano called the victim, pretending to be from Google's support team, and claimed there had been an attempt to hack his account. To secure the account, they said they needed the victim's security codes. Trusting them, the victim shared the codes, which allowed Lamb to access his OneDrive and Gmail accounts. It was there that he found the victim's Gemini crypto records, laying the groundwork for the next step. With screenshots of their conversations as evidence, Lamb and Serrano decided to push things further. This time, they called the victim pretending to be from Gemini's security team, claiming his accounts were compromised. They convinced him to transfer about $3 million worth of cryptocurrency into a wallet they controlled. To tighten their grip, they persuaded the victim to download a remote desktop connection program for added security. He complied, unknowingly giving Lamb and Serrano real-time access to his computer. The whole time, the victim was still on the phone with Serrano, unaware of what was happening behind the scenes. Serrano carefully guided him to open various files on his computer, including those containing private keys to his Bitcoin. As Serrano kept the victim distracted, Lamb used the access keys to transfer over 4,100 Bitcoin, worth more than $230 million at the time. The entire scam was captured through screen recordings, showing every move they made step by step using a mirror program. These recordings even revealed the display names Lamb and Serrano used, Anne Hathaway and Versace God. With the heist complete, the question now is, what did they do next? Lamb and Serrano allegedly laundered the stolen funds through various mixers, exchanges, and digital wallets, using tactics like peel chains to cover their tracks. But once they had the money, they couldn't resist showing it off. Lamb bought 31 luxury cars, including Lamborghinis and Ferraris, with some worth $3 million. As of September 24th, 22 of these cars remained missing. Their lifestyle was extravagant. Serrano rented a house for $47,500 a month, while Lamb rented properties in LA and Miami, including one for $68,000 a month. Lavish nightclub outings burned through $500,000 each night. However, their spree ended quickly. On September 18th, Serrano was arrested at LAX after a trip to the Maldives, while Lamb was caught the same day in Miami, bringing their heist to a swift close. On September 19th, Lamb was charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering in Florida. 2 months later, he appeared in a Washington, D.C. court requesting a speedy trial. Lamb's lawyer, Scott Armstrong, called the case complicated and promised a strong defense. Currently held in Virginia, Lamb faces up to 20 years in prison per charge and hefty fines if convicted. Now tell me, what do you think? Do you think they'll get away with it or face serious consequences? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. See you in our next video. Until then, take care and thanks for watching.